Yeah, so this edition of Card Show Live, we have a lot of shows that are coming up around the country, including ours, the Medina County Collectors Fair. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will happen in Medina at the fairgrounds. And this is the show, Jeremy, where sports and pop culture collide. We created this on the heels of the Great Lakes Collectors Convention a couple years ago, and tremendous fanfare. I think the first show had 1,000 people, the second had more, and this show. Uh, it's going to be packed as well. There's close to 150 tables, almost 70 different vendors, from sports cards to 3D printing to tons of Pokemon. If you love Pokemon, you're going to want to come check this out. Tons of sponsors that we'll go over on our website, but Alex and will be there, and the Gibby's family and the likes. But that's going on Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Medina. Everything's on our website, greeniesportscards.com. And if you were thinking of coming to Ohio this weekend, there's another show right down the highway in Columbus, the Grove City Card Fest. Our friends at Shipshawana, Brad Beeman, Card Collector 2, Ryan, are putting a show on in Grove City Sunday. So great time to come to Ohio, right? You come here, hang out with us in Medina, and then you can just go right down the road on Sunday and check out the Grove City Card Fest. So great time to be in the Buckeye State, Jeremy. So we wanted to mention those. And then the small show of the week that we wanted to go over, A to Z Promotions. And it's interesting. I looked these up and I found this show and I said, man, 40 tables. And I messaged Bob Harper, who runs this show, A to Z Promotions, and I wanted to get a little background from him to see if this was the show that we wanted to discuss as the small show of the week. And he sent me back a nice email and said, they've been doing this show for 32 years. So it's at the Newark, Delaware. It's at the Ramada Inn. Sports cards, collectibles. You can find them at A to Z Promotions. They have a website. They have a Facebook page. What about 30 years to have the same show? I mean, that's a tremendous run. And that is what you call old school, Jeremy. And that's what kind of this hobby is about. And doing things, the longevity in the same place. Now, I know it's been in different locations, but it's really, in essence, been the same show for 32 years. And I know they have some other locations you can check on their website, but really wanted to mention that. A 30-plus year run for a card show is pretty tremendous nowadays, you know?
Absolutely. And then
And,
you've got a monster show elsewhere, and we want to tell everybody before we bring Jeff in, we'll give you a little bit of a background on him. You know, Jeff's really the driving force behind J&J All-Star Sports Cards, which is a premier organizer of sports cards events in the Indiana state and area. With a deep passion for the hobby and a commitment to community engagement, Jeff has built a reputation for hosting well-run, collector-friendly shows that cater to enthusiasts of all ages. We'll get into all of his shows, but it includes the Midwest Monster coming up, the Mini Monster shows, and a handful of others. So, Greeny, before we bring in Jeff, any other events that we've missed? Anything people should be looking out for this coming weekend?
outside of that, we're hoping for a little playoff run by the Cleveland Guardians,
Yeah,
right?
the
Yeah, they have a
the
three-game
game has
series.
started between the Guardians and the Tigers. So yeah, we'll keeping an eye out for that. Um, so yeah, we're going to welcome in Jeff here very shortly. Of course, coming up, we've got Hobby News with Joe W. out of Phoenix Card Shop, and Cut the Nonsense, which can be seen every Wednesday on the YouTube Sports Cards Nonsense Network. And then very excited to welcome in a little bit later, at about 40 after, we'll talk to Coach Rob Sunderoff of Kent State University men's basketball. So with that, let's go ahead and welcome in Jeff Mayrose.
Jeff, good evening.
Good evening. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. We're doing well, gearing up for another weekend of card shows. And every week we like to do this where we preview shows around the country. And I know yours is coming up. One of yours is coming up, the Midwest Monster, amongst several of the others we can talk about. But this is the big one, right? This is the big show that you started several years ago. And tell us a little bit about that. How did you even create this show?
Well, Greeny, we thanks for having me. It's an honor. We had several monthly shows going on, and we were getting sold out every month, and we had a waiting list. And I felt bad that we couldn't get some of these people in. So we decided to do a bigger show. And to be honest with you, I had no idea what to call it. I went back and forth on it, decided on the Midwest Monster. We had our first one. It was a big hit. Thanks to great dealers. We have awesome dealers and sponsors. So we went ahead and did that. It was a big success. We've been building on it ever since. And now we've had several years of it, and into a year now. So it's been a great ride. It just started out that I just wanted to get something bigger for the rest of the dealers, and make sure that they got in and present their products, and it worked out really good. So we're very fortunate. It's all about the sponsors and the dealers. And you can be a great promoter, but at the end of the day, it's about your sponsors and your dealers and the quality of them. And we're fortunate to have quality dealers and sponsors from all over the nation. So it's been a good ride.
Jeff, the Midwest Monster has become a must-attend event for collectors and vendors alike. The sponsors, of course, you mentioned, had a big piece of it. What sets this show apart, and why must people attend this show?
Yeah, there again, I mean, I have to go back to the dealers and the sponsors. I mean, we have dealers that are so quality dealers, and when you come to the show, you're going to see high end. We had $1 million card at our show. You'll see high end. You'll see the lower stuff. You'll see non-sports. You'll see Pokemon. You'll see all kinds of realms of sports memorabilia and stuff. So, we pride ourselves in trying to have a little bit of everything for everybody's budget, because not everybody's budget's the same. So, it's just an all-around situation where we want to present the cards and the dealers more than autograph session. We usually have one or two guys autograph, but we want the focus to be on the dealers, not on the autograph scenario. So, this particular show, we don't have anybody signing. We just had George Foster at our June Midwest Monster signing, but it's all about the dealers, and we're very fortunate to have great dealers and sponsors. That's the end of the game. And then Greeny's been one of our dealers for a long time, and he's quality as many as you can get to the show. So when you come to the show, you're going to see quality guys, quality dealers, quality cards, and you'll find something that you want at the show.
They say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, right? And we try to take things from different shows, and I've been to your show. I was at the first one. I've been to several, and I love the feel of the Best Choice Fieldhouse, and it's in this basketball gym. The hoops are around, the scoreboard that you can see in the middle, and we do a show now in kind of the same type of place, and I love the fact that it feels like sports when you walk into that venue. Tell us how you came about to picking that place, and do you feel that when you're in that room?
Yeah, there's a lot of history with that. A lot of people don't realize that Best Choice Fieldhouse is one of the premier field houses in the nation. There's a lot of AAU ball games played there every year, and you can go there certain times a year and go inside there, and there's all kinds of high-end college coaches scouting. And then there's been a lot of current players that are in the pros now that have played in that gymnasium. So there's a lot of history there. But obviously Indiana basketball is huge. They're known for it in the state. It was a good location for us to pick, and it's centrally located in the upper end of Indianapolis in the Fishers area. So with this history of the building, it's just worked out really good, and it's very well lit and very large, and it gives you that atmosphere of the sport. So, like you said,
yeah. When
one of the
we were
unique
looking
things
around
about the collectible industry, Jeff, is the generational aspect of it. So you've got, there's not many industries or pastimes that you could have grandparents and kids and parents alike. We've seen a surge in younger collectors over the last couple of years and families attending shows. What are you doing at your events to keep the hobby welcoming and introducing these kids and younger generation to just a great hobby?
Yeah, I mean, that's the future, obviously, and the kids are really good now. I mean, we have them all ages, but even the young ones come in. They know what their cards, they know what they want to pay, they know the business. They're entrepreneurs in a sense, and they come in, do their business, and a lot of them personally collect, but then there's some that want to buy and flip the cards and make some money, and they've proven that they're here to stay. I mean, it's we've had some dealers over the years that start out very young with us, and then became a dealer at an adult as well. So they know their stuff. They're very serious about it. They're very compassionate, and it's great to have the kids there. I mean, like I said, that's the lifeblood and the future of the hobby.
So let's talk about this show specifically. It is next Saturday and Sunday, the 4th and 5th of October. We said at the Best Choice Fieldhouse in Fishers. What can people expect? There's a VIP hour, right? And then what are the times of the show?
Yeah, the VIP hour is Saturday 11 to 12, and then the regular show is 12 to 8 o'clock on Saturday. And then on Sunday, the VIP hour is 8 to 9, and then the show is 9 to 3. So, like I said, we'll have golf carts escorting people from the parking lots to the front door, as usual. We don't like to have the people walk too far, so it's a nice little entity that we put in our shows to bring them straight to the front door, and then we'll take them back to their cars.
How many tables are you expecting at this show?
We're going to be in the 450, 500 range. Our show earlier this year in June was so crowded and packed that I actually wanted to go back a little bit on the tables just to give us a little bit more room, because it was just an amazing crowd there in June. And we're expecting a big crowd again this year in the fall show.
And when people come, you have everything, like you said. There's Pokemon. There's even vintage there. Are there other things? Is JSA coming this time?
Yeah, JSA will be there doing authentications. They're basically the leader in that industry. They've been at every single one of our shows. We'll have Zion cases there presenting, very, very top end cases. They're an industry leader as well. ComC will be there taking submissions. You got Fanatics Collect, one of the premiers in the nation. They're going to be there taking submissions. And then we got a host of all kinds of sponsors. U.S. Army is one of our big sponsors. So we back the military and thank all the veterans for their service. Obviously, that's kind of important for us as a future sponsor.
Well,
You've got
Jeff,
the Monster coming up this weekend. There's you've got a mini Monster series. You've got some American Legion shows. Talk about the other events in the portfolio where people can interact with you throughout the year.
Yeah, we're we have the Midwest Monsters twice a year. That's our premier event. Then we have the mini Monsters, which are one-day events. They're 200 table events. We have them 4 or 5 times a year. Next one's November 15th. And then we do monthly shows every month in Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. We're going to be moving into some other states next year, but we're monthly in every one of those states. And some of them we're in the same date in 2 different states. So like, this coming weekend, we're in Louisville as well as Cincinnati on the same day. So a lot of events, a lot of great dealers, and we've even started doing some straight Pokemon shows for that group as well.
There's no shortage of events to find in the JJ All-Star portfolio. And Jeff, listen, we appreciate it. The Midwest Monsters next Saturday and Sunday, October 4th and 5th. It's a tremendous show. I'm there in June. I won't be able to make it next weekend because I got a little trip with some friends, but I'll be back there in June, and we always love when we get out to your show.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming. Greeny, you've been with us for a long time. Like I said, you're one of the reasons why the these shows a success. But I've been honored to be on here. I appreciate you guys' time, and we'll see you to Monster.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jeff. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Appreciate it.